Hey friends, Kevin here, and today we're talking about something that can be a real pain in the butt concerning 12-volt refrigerators. And this applies to a whole lot of brands, a whole lot of different models, and it's a situation that you can run into as you start adding things to your own system, your own setup. So you had a 12-volt fridge, and later you add a power station. If you are just getting into this, this is good to know, because either you're going to run into this problem, or I guarantee you are going to run into someone on the road that has this problem. This is the 12-volt adapter that comes with many brands, many models of these 12-volt refrigerators. Matter of fact, you'll see a cable similar to this that comes with other devices. And the thing that makes me cringe with these is anytime I pull one of these out and I see this red tip on the end, I know that it's going to be a problem. And the issue for these companies that manufacture this stuff is they are making, of course, their refrigerators and different devices, but they are buying these from someone else. And of course, if they can save a dime on each one or 50 cents on each one when they're buying thousands of these at a time, they're probably going to make that choice of one company over another. But this style, with this crappy little red end that comes off, becomes a problem because it simply won't plug in and make a connection to a lot of other devices. And I'm not just talking about cheap refrigerators, because myself and a buddy of mine had refrigerators that were $700 about 5 years back, and the refrigerators lasted and were great, but this was the first time I ran into this problem, and he ran into this problem, and we ended up just cutting the plugs off these things and wiring them directly to the batteries, because these were so... And I know what's going to happen. There are going to be a bunch of people watching this going, "But Kevin, you're wrong. I have one of these 12-volt fridges that has a plug like this, and it plugs into my dashboard just fine. It plugs into my power station just fine." Great. You've actually found one of the combinations that actually works. The problem is going to be when you get into a different vehicle, and now it no longer makes the right connection when you plug it in to one of the outlets on the next vehicle you get. Or something happens to your power station, or you upgrade your power station to a different model, different brand, and all of a sudden now it doesn't play well with that one. So trust me, just because you haven't run into this issue yet does not mean you will not run into this issue. Here are some potential solution. Number one, you can try just pulling this red part off of here and see if it will make a connection, but that doesn't always work. The second way is to replace this 12-volt adapter with a better one. There are companies out there that make aftermarket cords that will fit the variety of refrigerators. As a matter of fact, about 80% of the refrigerators have the same plug-in type outlet on the other end. So for less than 20 bucks, you can get a cord. I'll link one down below that will work better, that doesn't have this silly little red plastic thing on the end and isn't made this way, and should be more reliable. It's a shame to have to go buy something to go with something you've already purchased, but that's the way it is. Here's the third way. One of the power stations I use is this VTOman brand. This thing has been great, rock solid, reliable with everything, but I can tell you this does not play well with this adapter. It plugs in, it locks into place, it acts like it wants to, but it just doesn't want to be consistent. And here you can see, if I sit here and play with it enough, eventually it will try to come on for a second or two. Here's your solution for power stations. You may not have even noticed these on a power station that you own, but more than likely you have at least one of them there. And what this is for expansion. Now, the power stations generally do not include extra ones of these, but what you're looking for is one of these, and I will link this down below. As a matter of fact, this issue is bad enough that I actually carry extra ones of these now, because I know I'm going to run into somebody along the way that is having an issue with their refrigerator, and they think the refrigerator is on its way out, and it's not a refrigerator problem, it's this cord problem. But for some reason, these little adapters, which have this little odd end that will plug into that port on a power station and give you an extra 12-volt outlet, for some reason, these seem to work well together. And there you can see my fridge firing up just fine with this little setup. I have had to do this on multiple power stations with multiple brands of these 12-volt refrigerators, in addition to some other 12-volt devices. So hopefully that will help you out. File that knowledge away, because it is one of the things you are going to run into if you are doing any type of camping, van life, camper van travel, adventure travel, whatever, dealing with all of these devices. Let me know what problems you have run into trying to get different devices to play well with each other, and we'll talk soon.